What's up, Hammy? I'm doing great. How are you? Just getting some mixing done here. Is that other camera working? It's okay. Yeah. Sometimes my cameras just bug out during a stream, so we'll see what happens with this. I haven't had a chance to work on them. Wednesdays are busy days for me, so honestly, every day is busy, but I still didn't have time to really work on it yesterday. I'm sorry to hear that. Just getting all the mixing done right now, and that way I have to deal with less when I'm working on the painting. All right, we'll swivel this camera around in a second. So yeah, I'm just going to use colors mixed right now, and that way it'll speed the process up when I need to actually paint and be more spontaneous with it. Painting improv. Not being afraid to throw the paint down. Later, probably off stream. Yeah, we're going to be working on the cityscape again. I'm going to try to get as much done as I can today. I'm really in the mood to just get this thing done. You know, I'm picturing on Saturday, if I know that I am complete or almost complete with this painting, I'll feel really good on Saturday, I think. Just imagining how I feel just knowing that this thing is pretty much complete. You know, it's quite nice. Yeah, right? I hope so too. So, Hammy, are you doing some drawings right now? I want you to be working on those figure drawings that you're doing. You know, the key to that stuff is consistency, right? It's always being just consistent with your work, which is a hard thing to do. It's very hard. But the payoff is huge. Working on hand studies, good. I like that. Just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Work on the technique. Slow yourself down to do it right. And, you know. Might be too much red. No, I haven't been checking Instagram that much recently, which I need to be doing. There's no excuse, to be honest with you. Oh, good. Okay. I'll check it out. I'll try to find it. All right. Those are very close in value, but that's okay because it's actually the subtlety that I'm going for, so I actually mix those piles on purpose very close together. Figure even had the model holding a large vase, I thought adding that would be a fun change. Yeah, definitely, and it's a challenge as well, probably. It's good when you have to, you know, sync the figure with the hands and such. That's always it's always a challenge. All right, and the colors mixed. This is how we do it. Sometimes even if I'm not going to use certain colors, which I think I'll use this, but it still helps to see kind of a lighter color to be able to key it up so you know your value range, you know your light and dark range, which is good. What else do I need? There was some there. Oops. All right, no worries, Hammy. No worries. Black. Let me see if I have another black. Oh. Oh, I have one, right? There's the box. Oh shit, that's not it. Wait a second. Dang it. Wait, there's the box. It's back there. Why? This is gonna be tricky. I have to climb over stuff. Why is this here? The hell? Do I have a black? Please tell me I have a black. Oh, thank God. Blue Ridge Ivory Black. Okay. All right. Let's see what this does. Why this box there? Got it. Normally I keep this under table, but it was there. Ivory Black, Blue Ridge. See how this bitch works? Because I'm running out of the Michael Hardings. Michael Harding. Laura, you know, I've been thinking about you. What are you doing? I'm working on the cityscape again. Looks like it might be a little cool. Which I like. I like the cool because I can always warm up. Warm up. Oh my gosh. Let's do this. I hear you. I'm sorry. That sucks. I don't know what it is. It's like, yeah, because you haven't streamed the last. I'm not on your case for this. You know me. You haven't streamed for a while. It's been a couple weeks, right? So I actually have been checking. We're on vacation, gotcha. Well, I'm sorry, that sucks. You know, it's. I don't know how that is. Yep, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. I am. I got a couple commissions and stuff, and I'm starting to snap out of whatever it is I was going through. And so what's driving me at this point is I'm really playing the games with myself, the mind games where I'm saying to myself, okay, well, sorry. I'm saying, okay, how am I going to feel if I get this done? How am I going to feel if I get this done? And it kind of just added up, and I need to get these paintings done for, financially, I needed to do it for myself. I mean, it's very important at this point. And so I'm kind of letting that drive me right now. That's what's motivating me to do this stuff, but also still playing the head games of what I need to do to improve upon this, because this painting is not something that I'm particularly into, but like as painters, that's what all of us go through, right? Like slump. Sometimes it's stuff that we need to do. We need to be able to do this type of work, but it's hard. And you have to play the mind games. You have to put that extra energy in to do stuff that normally, if you were into something, you wouldn't have to put in, and it's not fun, right? So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I kind of got to the point where I was just tired of feeling like I underperformed for the week, and so it's a combination of that and also financially having to do it. So it's multiple motivations and a lot of time spent trying to get my head back in the game. Like you see me painting on stream, and you know how this is, right? You have to psych yourself up. You have to psych yourself up for work sometimes, and sometimes that takes either a morning ritual or you're just sitting there thinking about it for an extended period of time, right? Like that's what you do. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. Like that's sometimes that's how it works. So I've spent a lot of time really psyching myself up and trying to get my head on straight with this stuff. So it's kind of where I'm at right now. Yeah, and that mindset is something that I really work hard on because it's not a natural thing. It's with this type of work right here when you have to depend on your abilities as an artist, but also your mindset to continue on to paint. People don't care about what you went through to do something; they just care about the finished product, as they should, right? And so that's where I'm. I'm trying to get my head on straight with this stuff and do the best that I can with it, obviously. This is feeling weird. Let me switch brushes. See, some days I work well with brushes. Some days I don't work well with brushes. Like certain brushes, specific ones. Yeah, and that's one of the things. You're absolutely right. That's what's hard about it. It's a challenge. It's a real challenge, this stuff. Because a lot of people are motivated by fear, right? And that's not a great way to go about things. It's really because that I think will show in your work oftentimes, but. We need to be crafty about this. We need to be creative, and you need to not just do the work, but excel at it. And so these are little tricks that I use to keep myself going with it, because it's not always going to be so hard to work. The reason why it is, and it helps to break down and try to understand why things are so hard for you in a piece. So I've thought about it, and with this, it's simply put, I have not done a lot of cityscapes because they just simply don't interest me. And it comes out technically, and since I'm trained, I can see technically that it is off, and I have to exert more energy to do things that I normally would not have to exert that energy for. And also, the fact that it is something different means there's technical things that I haven't not confronted in my painting. So if I do confront them in this, I get better as a painter. So this is making me better at paint. It is. It's making me a better artist. So that's how I have to look at it. That's how I choose to look at it. And it's as simple as that. And the black is running into my massive bicep. My bulging, well-oiled now bicep. Let me just do that. There we go. Because Blue Ridge oil paints, they're excellent. I like them. They're a little bit oily. They run, right? So, you know, it was funny because my sister had texted me this morning, and she had watched part of the stream. She's like, "You really don't like doing this, do you?" And I explained to her. I said, you know, it's good because it gets me, like, it's a weakness that it's exploiting for me, and it's true. I'm not just saying that. This painting is pointing out certain weaknesses that I have in my art that, frankly, I need to fix. I need to fix myself. And the same thing happened with still lifes. Like if I was streaming, for example, if I was streaming 10 years ago, you would see me working on still life, bitching and complaining and crying about it. That's what you would. Instead, you see me streaming this, bitching and complaining and crying about it. Don't want your biceps to rust. The high quality metals normally don't. So everything's like you have to look at it this way. And another thing, like it builds up. You know this, Louder. I'm preaching to the choir here. Like it builds up your ability to I forgot what I was saying. I literally forgot what I was saying. That's not a good sign. I'm trying to identify some of this. This is not well done. It was a good point, though. Just take my word for it. It was a good point, okay? So just give me credit for... I was going to say something really cool. I just forgot it because I'm just so focused here. I think I was going to say something about... It builds up your resiliency as a painter, you know, and as a person, it strengthens your resolve for things and it toughens you up. There's a lot of benefits that come from pushing yourself in areas that you don't want to do it, and I think a lot of painters, you know, I've done this, everybody's done this, where it's like, you know, there's this mentality in painting or being an artist in general that it's like, well, if I'm not inspired, I'm just not going to do it. You know, it's just, you know, I have to blah, 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 whatever. I mean, you know, this thing that inspiration's like this golden nugget of genius and blah, blah, blah. And I guess to a degree it might be, but you can still not be a pussy about it and get solid work done even if you're uninspired. And so, like, you need to... It's important to learn how to work through slumps and such, because it's going to make you a stronger painter and worker in general, and that is invaluable, right? It's really, like, it's so important. It's one of the main things, you know, like, I mean, it's so important. Because I've been through times where it's been, you know, months, and I'm just, I can't do any good work. And I have to get to the point sometimes, or I've had before, like, normally it won't go that long, but it gets to the point where I actually have to get angry and just get pissed off at whatever I'm doing and throw it back in its face, if nothing else. Well, thank you, Laura, but, like, I think that's again, a lot of it is motivation, right? It's, you know, it's like when we're not inspired to do something, or we're down, or we're dull, we're tired. It's not just that we're tired, we need a break, but we need to be motivated. And motivation is something that you need to work on. It doesn't always just come. Sometimes it comes, but oftentimes you have to psych yourself into it. Anger is power, I agree. And the Sith prove that, which is why I think they have it, you know, the right way, frankly. But I really think that going through slumps is one of the most important things that you can do. It's good. They're good. Like, you know, it's not anything to be like, oh shit, I'm in a slump, now I'm screwed, and blah blah. Like, you can turn it around and use that power, right? You can use it like the pussies use it, and be defeated by it, and then whine about it later and lament that you went through it. Or you can embrace it and come and learn how to bitch slap it in the face. And you come out stronger, and you have huge biceps and a six-pack, because of this is how I look at slumps. They're good things. They're really good things. Everybody's like, how do we get out of one? Which is a reasonable question. But I think embracing the slump is what you're supposed to do there, right? It's good that you get that way. Good. Now you need to understand why you're there, and you need to get better yourself to get out of it. And that doesn't mean you're immune to it. It just means that, you know, you're going to learn something from it. I know from experience, every time I've been through this type of stuff, like slumps, I've always come out stronger for it, and then I use those tools to continue. For example, getting pissed off at your work. Sometimes I feel fine. It's not that I'm not going to work, but I'll literally pull myself through a painting with sheer rage, right? I'll be pissed. I'll get it done, right? And it'll be damn good work, right? There has got to be darkness. You must enjoy the darkness. Exactly. I always say use painting for evil, all right? Never use it for good. You never want to use this stuff for good. Good. Being good gets you nowhere, okay? Be selfish and use your painting to dominate the intellectual fools that are around you. Surround you daily. I've been very clear about this, Laura, all right? Everything, there's this little voice in the back of my head that is always screaming this every time I'm talking like this. And you know what that is? It's always saying, don't be a pussy. Stop being a pussy. Okay? That's what it's saying. Literally what it's saying. It's screaming at it right now. It's just, that's the main thing. So what do you learn out of slumps? Don't be a pussy, but you have to be smart. You always have to use your brain. You have to use your head, right? You're gifted. You're nugget of gray matter for a reason, right? And that is to, well, first off, dominate the intellectual peons, the morons out there that surround us daily. That's number one. That's first and foremost. But number two, if you find yourself down, you have the ability to get out of it. Just stop being a pussy. You know? Embrace it. Freaking embrace it. I blacked out. What happened? Inner beast. That's it. not sure I like what I did just there because I wasn't really focused. I was kind of going on a rant. But am I going to lay down and die? No, I'm not. Right brush. All right. Flick the painting off with the brush. You can have to get pissed at this. I am pissed. I am really angry right now. Everybody thinks, you know, louder, you know this, like I'm preaching to the choir here. Everybody thinks painters, you know, it's always like, oh yes, I get to do whatever I want. I'm so inspired all the time. You know, it's just some, you know, all this. There is rage and hatred involved in every painting that I do. There's not love. There's no such thing as love or friendship. Or friendship. Okay? There's no such thing as friends. There's no such thing as love. All right? And the sooner you get this through your head, the better. Okay? I'm saying this because I'm compassionate. And I care about you guys. All right? I don't want you to have to go through it to realize these things. So I'm telling you right here, I'm telling you right now, there is no such thing as good. Okay? There is no such thing as good. I always do painting for evil. Best advice I can give. Okay? I have to be careful not to go piecemeal with this. Yeah, you gotta harness your inner bitch. That's pretty funny, Hammy. Do you want me to do that? I can do that right now for you. You want me to whip you into shape? Hammy, that's exactly why I'm saying this. It's because I also have gone through this. It's true. It's what I go through as well. Right? You have to go through it, and it's good that you go through it. It's not a bad thing. Everybody goes through it. You have to learn how to get yourself out of it. It's called, motivation. You have to learn how to motivate yourself. Right? You do. It's simple motivation. Motivation. You have to be motivated. There are times when you take breaks, and that's one of the tricky things about artists is that you kind of have to, you have to know when to do that, right? You got to be practical about things. Just use your head. Just use your head. Essentially what I'm doing, I'm working in between. I know because y'all are painting this painting right here with me, no doubt. You have copies at home that I'm sure you will post later in Discord because we're all a unit here. Essentially mixing between the flesh tone colors up here, which that's these colors right here for the house, and I need a lot of work there. But I'm doing, this is for like these shadows here, but I'm mixing between them to get variations in values and colors and such that kind of unifies the colors together. Okay, it's looking really good, Lewis. How much more detail are you going to put in? That's a good question. I don't know if I'm going to put that much more detail in, but like this tree needs to be repainted. See, it's kind of zoomed out so y'all can't really see what I'm doing. I'm kind of overall like more effective, me painting in my studio shot, but I don't know. Like I still have a lot of refining to do, especially in the shadows. These are just blocked in. This side is very much just blocked in. The leaves here, maybe I bring some light out later, maybe. I'm gonna work the trees a little bit, put some glints of light on there. I'm gonna work the sky into the trees here and have it poking through the trees so that it gives it depth. I need to work this tree line right here to the houses. Unfortunately, I lost this piece right here, which I feel like I should have kept, but that's okay. I could actually get that back if I really wanted to, but I'm not sure I care enough. This does not make sense, or rather is not good composition, that it's just a straight line going down like that. So I'm probably going to put a little bit of variation here, maybe bring it in here some, or bring the sky in so it kind of loops up some. Need to put some variation in, bring the sky out a little bit, probably lower the chroma, out the color intensity and all that bullshit. So, I don't know, there's a lot I got to do. There's still a lot I have to do, and this is the nature of these paintings. And so one of the things that it can be tricky with a painting like this, especially if you're not necessarily into it, is just being daunted with the amount of work that you feel like you need to do, right? And so that is one of the tricks. You have to assess what you need to do. You have to assess how much work you need to put into it, but you can't let that bring you down and get in your head, right? So you kind of have to be able to face it like a man without being drawn down like a pussy from it. So that's kind of the way that I look at this. Like you have to see all the stuff you need to do, but you can't overthink it and let that defeat you and be like, oh crap, this is never going to be done. Right? It's kind of, I don't know. I just think painting makes you mentally tough if you do it right. And that's invaluable, because then like it comes out in other facets of life. Facets, that's the word of the day. FACETTCS, okay, is I believe how it's spelled. Facets, okay. You just gotta be smart. Just gotta be smart. Painting teaches you how to be smart, which is why it's the #1 profession in the world, and it's the most lucrative as well. And that's why I always say look down on the bitches. You have to look down. You have to look down on other people in this life. Otherwise, they will be looking down on you. Holding a brush like this again denotes how experienced I am as a painter. Very experienced, smart. Messed that up. Almost dropped it. For some reason, I am now painting well with these brushes, probably because I started holding it the right way. And I am going to transition to the Filbert, probably #4. Is it #4? Every time I look at a brush, it's #4. Every time. Some days this thing just pokes out like an extra nipple. It just shoots out there. It's like it wants to go towards y'all. I don't know why. I adjusted it once. I'm not going to adjust it twice. You're not supposed to be at peace when you paint. It's not supposed to make you happy. It's not supposed to make other people happy. All right? It's about dominance and despair. That's what painting is about, idiots. All right. Brush twirl to your face. So there's going to be more work, like close up like this, okay? Okay? There's going to be more work close up, at least the way that I'm doing this, because, right, we're doing, we want it, you know, nice and contrasty up front, whole range of values, more detail, and then in the back it just kind of wisps away, right? Just wisps away. Bitch. Okay. Brush twirl for your ass. Alright, let's go through and start working on the trees. Maybe we zoom in a second and you can actually see the beautiful work that I'm doing up close. I don't know. I saw congratulations, Jamie. I found out that I am pregnant. Congratulations, Hammy. Congratulations. Just kidding. Going to be a great aunt in the fall. That's even better. Good job. Brush like a douchebag so that we know that I know what I'm doing. Bitch. Face. All right. Let's try this black. Looks cool to me. balls. Okay. It's alright. It's looking good. It's looking good. I think what I'm going to do is zoom in some. Get a zoomed in shot. Y'all can actually see what I'm working on. This camera is gonna, we're gonna lose it for a second. I'm gonna get back right back up though. Okay. All right, guys. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the drill. That's it. Zoomed in shot. It is a zoomed in shot if ever I've seen one. Alright, so I'm going to move this up here because I'm going to be working on this. The shadows down here, obviously. But the drill. Oh. Okay. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to work down here, and then I'm going to go, and I'll probably work on these buildings here, and I'll obviously do something about this camera and such, but that's where I'm going to start. So I try to road map out what I'm going to do, and that's, you know what, Laura, that's one of the, you know, when I'm having trouble working, if I don't want to do something, this and that, I try to maximize my organization, get a game plan, and that normally helps a lot. It helps me a lot. Because then I'm not working in circles. Not going in circles. Same wise game G. Say. That was a bad brush stroke. Kind of stupid. Hate when I do that. Ooh, that sucks. The street, the house, the double delight on the street and the house is very beautiful. Are you talking about like the street and the house? The light effect on it. It's coming along. Just keep on working on it, keep on refining it. That's my mentality with this stuff. You know, just keep on refining. You know, the dappled light, you like that? Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. The effect that's kind of emerging. Tegan, what's up, buddy? What's happening? You doing all right? What are you up to? Ooh. All right, good. There we go. You know what else is my motivation, Laura, for doing this right now? the fact that I want to be doing like other types of work as well. But again, everything like I am like everything I'm doing right now, I'm also thinking about like how good I'll feel once I have this done and sense of freedom I'll have, you know. Also, the stuff that I've learned from this, it's invaluable. As well as Porsche's trying to copy the Russian academic style of drawing. That is awesome. Who are you copying right now? Which guy? Or chick? Which I don't think they had a lot of women because I'm not sure they could back in the day, I think. It's more attractive to look at than I am. It looks like the shadows shit all over the road there, and it's not how it is actually in reality. So I shall fix that. Vasily also give attention to the shadow. Give attention to the oh, I've seen. Hey, tag in. I want you to look this guy up. I think you might know him, but this guy is freaking awesome. Give me a sec. I always have to spell his name out and Google search it, and then I'll copy and paste because it's he's Polish, but he trained in, I think it was St. Petersburg. He trained. Look this guy up. Yeah. Look that dude up. He is actually one of my favorite painters. And I know you know Repin, Ilya Repin. Vasily, I think I do know as well. I had a good Russian book and I lost it. And what's Vasily's like full name too? Write that out for me if you could. I love the Russians' work. I love them. It's horrible. Yeah. He's probably one of my he's one of my top 5 probably. I personally like him better than Ilya Repin, and that's just but I love Ilya Repin too. That's not me bashing Ilya, even though that was kind of a bash. No, whatever. I like him. I like him a lot. He's really good. Yeah. I love his nature scenes. I love how he paints trees. I love how he always has the speckled light. You can tell at what time of the day it is. He's highly advanced. His use of color, his paint application, the thickness is brilliant. It is, and I love the scenes that he paints. He chooses very good themes. He has, Greek mythology. He has like historical painting. I think he has mythology. Yeah, he does. He has mythology. I think Greek is what it seems like he does quite a bit. He has biblical scenes which are actually inspiring. It's not just like it's like I can see that's how it would look if we were there. His composition. There's one painting that he did that I actually have on my iPad, but I don't want to take the time to find it right now. But it's essentially Jesus walking up to what it looks like it's Mary Magdalene. It's this woman who's dancing and stuff, and she's very struck by him, and he's just standing there with his apostles behind him staring. It is so well done. And in the middle of it, there's this tree. At the center of interest, is Jesus, but then right after that, there's this tree in the middle, and it's all shadow. It's not light. It's all shadowed. I'm gonna pull it up. Okay, y'all have to see this. This is such a good painting. Just give me a second, and then I'll get back to this. It's only take a minute, but this is totally worth it. Images, because I have it here. I guarantee you it's probably one of the first ones that will come up, I'm guessing. There it is. It's Christ and sinner Mary Magdalene. Yeah, it was Mary Magdalene. Let's see if this is a good one. Yeah, that's a good image. Let me bring this up. And I will see if I can zoom in. So this is it, and I'm going to do this. This is it, and it's out, and then do this. So now here's the thing though, like different exposures, but the ones that I've seen, these figures are actually darker, right? They're in darkness. Now there's a lot of symbology behind that too, but like this is pretty dark. So maybe, I don't know, that's why photographs are all weird, but like this tree is so well done. It's right in the middle, right, like it's in the middle of the painting, which like you're taught not to do, but he made it work. And then, look at this. This is beautiful. They're all like dancing around singing, and then he's here with his apostles. They're following him, questioning, saying you shouldn't be here probably. A bunch of other people, they're just doing their thing, maybe out of curiosity. Landscape, the time of day, you know where the sun is. This is a freaking good painting. You can tell everything is designed, like the drapery. She is the most colorful person in this picture because of this, right? It's contrasting the orange. I could go off on this. This is such a good painting. Such a good painting. Anyway, his work is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Whoops. It's brilliant. I love his work. It's like speckled light stuff is kind of what I try to do, but the way he puts paint down is just also just insane. It is a striking painting. Yeah, exactly, Tegan, exactly. The purple cloth, yes. Purple is kind of like a queenly color, too, right? She's a person of importance. But yet she was in shadow. She was not in the light. But that he played that off compositionally well. There's, like, he uses light to tell somebody's, like, inner being, right? Physical light. It's amazing. Like, you can do so much. You can do. I love that shit. 1 second. Anyway, great painting, and they got the countenance of Jesus. It didn't look like some hippie with long hair and a beard, and that's it. He just, like, you could tell. It was striking. It was a good. That's a good painting. And there are a lot of paintings that he did like that. I could go off on each one that he did. They're brilliant paintings. And you never hear about him, and partially because Russia has been closed off from the world for a very long period of time, but they've just recently, you know, they're starting to get known now. But you couldn't find these people 20 years ago. It was so hard. So that painting, that was easy to find. I have, on this iPad right here, a database of all the artists, and I have like solid high quality images, and I flip through them if I need inspiration, right? That's another thing I do. I look through artists to kind of get my head out of the gutter sometimes, right? To realign myself. You need to do that. It's constant head game. And that is something like Henryk Siemiradsky, I think I'm butchering the name, but his work was so hard to find. I couldn't find any good quality images for the longest time. Now now you can find them. But I have it all on this iPad here, which is backed up on my computer, so I have a database and a half of images. Not just of him, but of other artists, like people you've never even heard of. Love it. Yeah. Like, his work is brilliant. I love seeing that stuff. I love it. Brilliant painter. And he's Polish, too. He's Polish. I always thought, I was like, oh, he's Russian, because when I went over to St. Petersburg and Moscow back in the day, in my many travels, and that's where I learned of him. So I always thought he was Russian because, what do I know, right? And it turns out he was Polish. And that's the other thing is we got books when we were over, and when I say we, it was went on a Florence Academy of Art trip. But it was in Russian, the books, and I can't even read the alphabet in Russian. It's completely different. And so I always assumed that he was he was Russian, but he's not. He's from Poland. And of course, this is back before all this information was out. And maybe I could have Googled it and figured it out. Maybe I didn't do that. But anyway, it's fun. It's fun stuff. It makes you want to like paint better. And I remember my teachers telling me, they said, it's not that, like sometimes, like the way to look at paintings and painters, sometimes you like something a painter does, but you don't like something else a painter does. So you say, I like this, but I don't like that. And it's also within the paintings. I like how this is done, but I don't like that. They said that's how you look. They taught me to look at work that way, because then you're less dismissive. And when you're less dismissive, you're going to learn more because you're going to stick around and find things in a painting that otherwise maybe you would have shirked off. Right? These shadows here, I'm not like painting them exactly how they are there. So I have to be careful not to over-exaggerate or lose the impression, the drawing and such because of this. You can get in trouble doing this, but at the same time, it's good to know how to design, but you have to understand what you're looking at. You can get away with it more in like trees and such, but I would always recommend copying at first. Trying to be as faithful as you can, especially if you're first. That's what I would recommend, because there's a lot of subtlety that otherwise you'll miss, that you don't think is important and it actually is, and you'll learn that it's important when you're trying to paint it. You'll learn it's important when you've done something, it doesn't look correct, and then you have to go through and study exactly what, like why yours doesn't look right, and you'll find that oftentimes it has to do with subtlety, understanding of form, and certain things that you dismissed before, technically. And so that's, how do I know this? Because I do it all the time. So we're spending time on this, and this is how we get better. At the end of the day, I'm going to have something that I'm proud of. I'm not going to look back and remember that, oh, it was painful doing it, right? Or I took a week longer than I wanted to on it. I'm not really going to remember. Some paintings I do remember that stuff, and because those are nightmares, and that has happened before. They never turn out good. This won't be that way. I have a ton of Russian art books, PDFs about the Russian academic method. Hey, can you link that stuff, tag in our resource section in Discord for me? I'd really appreciate that. I'm very interested in that. Thank you. Awesome, man. You know what? You're like, I don't want to say librarian because that's it's like you're a chick, but you're not. We need to come up with another name for you. You're the archiver. That's what you are, but it needs to be something more badass, because I don't even like archiver. We need to figure out something for you. You archive everything. But right now, for you, that's a good thing. And it's helping me out, and you're going to practice, especially if you get into school. That's one of the things. Look, especially if you go into this as a profession, which I can't see you not doing, you're going to find that you're going to be working so much that you either don't have the time or you don't have the energy to research what you want to, because like you go through periods of stages in your life where like you'll research something, and then you'll go through periods of stages where, I think I'm saying that right, periods of stages, yeah, that makes sense, where you're actually doing it, and it's finding the balance and shifting back and forth. At least that's what happens with me. That's how I function. I guess everybody functions different. So embrace it right now, because you'll have plenty of time to practice this stuff. You're young. You know. Let's switch the music up. Give me a second. Let me, in fact, change my palette out as well, or just rest my eyes for a second. I want to stay fresh because I got a couple more hours. I'm planning on getting a lot of work done with this today. I really want this to be advanced by the time I put the brush down later on today. I have a class tonight, but that class is at 6 o'clock, so I want to get as much painting done as I can today, and it's going to be tiring as shit. I'll tell you that. I even want to get over to this section over there. But I need to get these houses first. Maybe that's what I do. Figure that out in a second. Give me a second. Let me switch the music up. So what do we want? We want... Let's do... I want to do this again. I'm right now. Just the music, the feel for it. This is a little choppy. I need to brush it out, smooth it out some. Archivist, maybe Hammy? I don't know. So this is one of those days where if I was kind of by myself, let me enlarge this a little bit. If I was by myself, I might be taking more rests on the couch because I'm in a lot of pain. I am in some pain right now. I'm just tired and I'm worn out. That doesn't work. Which is fine. It's totally fine. I am just, it's a mental thing. It's all this stuff, right? And look, let me say this. I articulate this stuff so that you're going to go through the same thing and you know that this is how I deal with it and not to get discouraged with it. It's normal. I'm not trying to whine and complain. I'm really not. But this type of stuff is, you really put yourself into it and you feel it. It takes a lot out of you. And that's not a bad thing. I think I'm going to go with some larger brushes, and this is going to be one of those days where I just have a lot to clean, that's okay. That is okay. Larger brush. I tell you all the time I'm starting to write a book according to my naive knowledge about contemporary ateliers like the Florence Academy, GCA, Barcelona Academy, Angel Academy, the Russian academies. And I'm going to point out and analyze the differences in terms of techniques and methods in their program. I've never written. Dude, that is insane. Cool. Nice, man. That is really good, man. I'm glad you're doing this. This is good. It's awesome. Shit. Screw that up. I'm not pointing out how different it is from the. You should, man. You know, here's the thing. All of this stuff. Context is everything, right? Like, shit. Sometimes when I look at the screen, you know, like my eyes readjust, and then I can't really see as clearly. But tag in, like 20 years ago, the scene was way different, and you didn't have all these schools up in the spotlight. Now they kind of are, and which is a good thing. So what's happening is, and this happens throughout history, this stuff is coming back, and they're kind of grasping at what was there before. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of this technique, which you're seeing, come back. You're going to have a lot of schools in the spotlight showing this stuff, and you're going to have a lot of criticism with them, saying it was like it was, this school is like it was back then, this school isn't like it was back then, and there's certain elements. So you're going to have like a kind of an evolution of things. You're going to have some of the old school techniques brought back, or rather methods of training brought back, because hopefully all the techniques come back, but you'll have the old school methods come back slowly. You'll have adjustments, and sometimes you'll have advancements with it. It might not come back in certain schools the same as it was in the ateliers like before. They could make improvements on them, but this is how it goes, right? You work and rework it, but the main thing to judge off of is the student work after I would say after the first and second years, and then going on from there. That's where, like, I think that's where you would want to judge mainly, especially third, fourth year students, especially third and fourth year. That's where you want to be looking at the schools. That's how you know. Yeah, and so tagging, again, like I was telling you this, so the two big themes, I guess, with the Florence Academy that have been questioned recently, and I'm not saying they can't do anything better. They definitely could. This is a school that was established, several decades back, but it's still very new in the scheme of things. And it was meant to bring back the old masters and get that training back, go back to the basics. It's a restart. So it's not going to be perfect. But, so I'm going to be fair with this. The two things, it was form, right? In contrast to shadow is atmosphere, light is form. There was the question about form in that. Because there was an insinuation that the school focuses only on shadow as atmosphere, for light is in the form. Therefore, like when there's in the round light, we're not used to doing this type of stuff, which I guess I can see that, but like there's also form in shadows to a degree. You can get that subtlety and this balancing your values and stuff. You can still make it look atmospheric. Still imply that there's form, but you're always supposed to be thinking about form. Always. The other thing was, what was the other thing? The other thing was storytelling, right? Being creative with your work. And the Florence Academy is very upfront, like in the beginning, especially, it's not creative, it's not artistic. You just do the thing. But later, like when I was there, Daniel Graves, 4th year, he started an advanced building, had us come in, said, I want this to be the place where now you have the tools, be artistic. Like we want you to, like do this. Like, I think they could probably, speaking from my experience 20 years ago, they could probably do a better job with that. But their purpose, and they were upfront about it, was to teach you the language, which is so important. So if they want to have, like I think they're doing it the right way. They teach you the language first. And if they want to have a program later on where it, say after the 3rd or 4th year, then we get into the storytelling and this and that. Or they can have a storytelling class at the same time. You can still teach people about and not be necessarily putting everything into practice like in the first couple of years. I think that would be great. I think those things would be good, but it's not. I think a lot of the criticism from like a lot of these people who, look, everybody learns different, and you're going to have different artists saying different things about it. For me, it fit, and for other people, it didn't. And that's just something you have to know going into it. Hammy, I'll see ya. Take care. But I will say, I think the Florence Academy is freaking brilliant, that place. I think it's freaking brilliant what they've done. Daniel Graves is one of, he doesn't just run one of the best art schools. He is one of the best teachers that I have ever had. And that's not talking about his skill. That's talking about his ability to teach and support you and to make you grow. And like he's awesome. And he can be, he's one of these people, he's very caring, and you can have that awkward conversation with him, right? Sometimes that's just like, some people that they can be a little bit awkward in conversation, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how people are, and that's sometimes he can be that way. The reason why he's good is because he does care about the students. He cares about them, and he knows when to push them forward. He knows when not to. I think he's a very good judge of people, in terms like he knows how to teach. He knows how to inspire the students. He knows what to say to get the most out of them. That is my experience from it. I noticed that with him. And I don't care how good an academy is, that is very rare as a teacher, right? So I think he's freaking awesome. I really do. Because, I came to him once. I was so discouraged with my work, and I was going off on how bad I am. I was just like, I just don't think I can do this. Like, this looks horrible. This is bad. Like, you know, and you go through that because, like, you are, in a sense, always wrong. But if you are, you are. If you're trying to do something that's a very high level and you're in your first or second year, of course it's always going to be wrong. You have to toughen up. But it's okay to get it off your chest. It's okay to get down on yourself every once in a while. And he deals with that at the school. He deals with people who are down with themselves. He knows how to motivate. He's seen it before, and he doesn't want people to be down. He doesn't want people to be down, right? So if he didn't believe in his work or in this method, we wouldn't be doing it, because it is very discouraging for a lot of people. But you have to understand, it's necessary to go through those downs. You have to get over this thing in your head that, you know, you have to. And there are people who get over it. There are people who don't get over it. They don't grow past that. They just don't. Right? But it's important to get past that. Like, I've been through that phase where, like, where everything's always wrong. You think you suck. You don't think you're ever going to get it. You look at everybody else, they're better than you. That was me. Literally everybody was better than me at one point in the school. I remember, like, I was so down, and I almost quit. And fortunately, I had good advice and good support that snapped me out of it. And then I started seeing improvements shortly after that I never thought that I could make. But a lot of people quit. They don't get to that point. And it sucks. And that's why it's important to have a good teacher, not just that knows about technique. Technique is very important in art. But you have to know how to motivate people. And you know what? If you've been through it, that's why it's like when people have been through it, it gives them power, because they know how to get out of it and they understand the value of having gone through it. Because a lot of people go through discouragement, and then there are people who want to help them, but if they haven't been through that discouragement, sometimes they can help and sometimes they understand it, but oftentimes they don't understand that it's necessary to go through and that they can get past it, right? What I'm doing, I'm unifying the shadows just a little bit right now because it's too over modeled. I'm trying to get the impression. This type of stuff takes some time to do. And oftentimes masters would paint and repaint stuff like this. And so I'm constantly squinting down and opening my eyes again, but I need to make sure that this makes sense. It has to make sense. So it's worth taking our time to do. Now, if I hadn't been trained and somehow made it this far, I might still not understand that taking this much time is necessary. I might be getting down on myself thinking I suck because it takes me forever to do and I can't do it. I see all these YouTube videos where they're 15 minutes long and they created this masterpiece and stuff. And how did they do that? What you don't see is all the times they messed up. So, that's, I want to do this type of stuff here to show that it's normal. Like, so you're going to see me struggling on camera. And I think there's value in that. There's value when I fail, because I will probably fail something in some future stream, or I don't know, maybe not. Because I can always wrap it up, I can always pull it out. I've done some bad paintings already on stream. But I'll fail at stuff. And you have to fail. You have to know how to fail. Because if you don't know how to fail, that's going to get you down, and you're never going to rise past that and then be successful, because you'll have quit before that happens. In art, you need to learn how to fail. You have to. That's another reason why it's important to not get down on yourself when you suck or you're the worst person at school, which I was. It took me a lot of time to get past that, and it's a huge struggle. It's very mental, right? Now I'm aware we only have about 3 people watching right now, and whatever. So glean from this what you will. There's no skin off my back. I am just talking, and so if tagging specifically to this is for you because you're going to be going through a lot of bullshit. You are enthusiastic right now, but you're going to find a time, and maybe you've already been through it, where you're not. And you're going to have to know how to deal with it. Right? You're going to have to figure that out. And you work different than I do. Everybody ticks a little bit different. It's looking better, but this sucks. But it's looking better. All right? Darken. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that stuff. This, you just need to be patient with your work, but you'll also find that you can run parallels throughout life with it too. That's the weird thing. Painting's not a separate from anything else. All right. Switch this up some. Let's switch it up. We're going to go to the buildings. Shift this camera a little bit. I'm going to wait until next week, probably, or tomorrow to work on the roofs. That at least, because I think this is still going to be a little wet, so I'm going to work down here, darken this, get that light effect going. Work this up a little bit too, perhaps right after I put this in. I'm just going to work on this right now because I need to shift up, and I'll have a fresh eye to go back into the shadows, work on better and quicker than I am currently doing. But so far, it is looking okay. The shadows are breaking up that street, which that's a good thing. I like that. That is not bad. lose this camera for a second. Main camera off. That gives the sky at an angle, but that's okay. Oh, that looks fine. How do I want to do this? Let's bring this up just a little bit. Yeah, right there. That works. Good. Hesitant to say, but this is actually behaving today. I could have planned this better by having a solid composition worked out before. Specifically the lighting effect. The lighting effect I changed, and you don't want to change it like I did in this painting. This will be a dark. Okay. Let's do this. I don't lose too much of the drawing if I just go straight in, so I'm going to put these columns in first so they de-darken. guys, I am going to go to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back. Right back. Be right back.
Sweat.
You know what would be funny too if my sub count like tripled when that happened? I come back and there's like 200 people watching or something. It would happen that way. That's what would happen. Would you miss everything? Just I went to the bathroom. Well, I can give you details later if you want. You want me to give you details louder? I don't know why this was funny the other day. Okay, please do. All right, well, I went in there, and I'm just kidding. So, like, when everybody was saying, you should do a video game stream, and then Tagging's like, yeah, I would watch that, and then I would unsub. I don't know why. I don't know why that was so funny. It was. That was a good one. That was good. Because I can see that happening. would be nice to... Details, please. It would be nice to just play games. It really would. If you could make money, the thing is, I think I could definitely be entertaining. I would never give up painting streams, ever. I don't want to do that. But one of these days I'll do a video game stream. One of these days I'll do it. Hearing loud plop sounds of shit hitting the wireless, trying so hard to take a shit. That's what you would hear. I'm gonna do that one of these times. But I wonder if that's like, I have to be careful because that's kind of, I don't want to get kicked off for something stupid, and that might be, I don't know. That might be against their terms of service or whatever, the TOS. I don't know. Part of me doesn't care about this stuff, but I also don't want to do some shit, kind of pun intended, that would actually get me kicked. Like, if I went down that way, oh, why did he get kicked off? Well, he pretended to take a shit on stream. It'd be funny, man. That is the way that I would want to go. I just don't want to go yet, okay? If ever I'm going to burn everything down, that's how I'm going to go. If you can get kicked off for that. You hear me crying in there. The sniffles. That'd be really funny. Sounds like more. Like, just bathroom humor is never gonna get old. You're just like, what? No. Stupid. Oh man, it's funny stuff though. It's great. I love it. Brush should I use this one? I guess. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Seeing they're moaning. It's a combination of moaning and just crying like a damn baby. You're like, oh. See, this is what happens when I get tired, man. I get so stupid, which is why I should probably start filming a video right now or something. Hey, Coquette. The Unix organ. Oh, did you? All right, that's good. I like your work. I like the stuff that you do. I was watching your last stream of the games Ms. led and that travesty that I led before. That was fun. That was fun. What I want to do, Coquette, is I want to have power. Like, I think I kind of did it before, but like, you know, every once in a while, if Ms. can't get on, I have just enough power where then I just go through and abuse that power tremendously, and I end up kicking him out, which I did. I actually officially kicked him from SPM when we were playing. If you remember, I did. I kicked him. He doesn't know he's not a part of SPM at this point. It was a very brief period in history, but it did happen, and I'm sticking to it. I'm a man of my word, you see. Oh, wasn't it a fun game though? I mean, maybe not for you, because I should have had you come up north. things fell apart fast. We went to get Shiggy, and then I almost immediately died without blocking. And then I was asking for a battle res, and then it came the second that I resed. And I was like, well, damn. And so I said, well, follow Xerxes' target. Xerxes was like, I'm dead. I was like, well, shit. So then everybody died quickly. We're up top. And I was like, well, let's get SPGY, which we actually got. We fought through. We got to north with 50 seconds left. And we could not get it. And then we panicked, ran to Van, which I was actually very pleased because when I was leading that whole group, and this was when Miz was gone, like some years back, our group got so big, and frankly, a lot of, we have good people now who actually pay attention and they preemptively do things. 'Cause I tend to micromanage too much, and that's a weakness on my part that I'm trying to stop, but I don't like having to do that, but I kind of had to do that before. And I was really impressed at how easy everybody just went and did what they needed to do, even though we got our asses kicked. That was a good game. Everybody did everything they were supposed to, and we won. And it was because of us. That was and the Pugs. And the Pugs, we had, in that game against the Davy Jones locker, we had really good Pugs. We had good Pugs. They were good. They listened, and they actually they were aggressive. That was a good game. We were very fortunate with that. We got, I don't want to say lucky, but that was a good thing. I'm going to actually go over this part too here. Soften. It was a fun night though. I really had a good time. Coquette, when Miz said he wanted to get this thing back together, I was a little bit hesitant. It's not because I disliked anybody, but when I was leading it, it was it became a stress after a period of time because I don't know if I told you, but there was a lot of stuff that within the group I was having to deal with, and it was like it became too much, and I said to myself, I never want to be in that position again. Even though you, Miss Widget, and Miz, and Keck, they're people who I really, 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 really like, but I didn't want to, because I would get whispers now and then, are you going to bring SPM back? I always said no, I'm not. But I'm glad he did, because I'm having a fun time. And you know me, I'll help out however I can. And I'm having a fun time stirring things up, and the drama is fun, the pre-made drama. It's always the most fascinating, isn't it? It's fun. Having a good time. I didn't think I would as much. And it's not an indictment on definitely not you or anybody, the original people of SPM, because we were very good, but we became a group that I didn't like after a while. I was having to deal with too much stuff within the group, and there was a lot of pettiness going on, and even Miz, when he was, that's why he didn't last too long in Classic either. He didn't last that long, and he and I were on the same page with that, but I love it when he gets this way where he's just, because stuff on the forums, this person said this, and he's just messing around, with them, and pushing things forward, and it's fun. I like it. I'm having a good time with it. It's nice. Oh yeah, and that's a hard thing, I always, Coquette, the reason why I ran SPM for so long was I wanted to keep everybody together. That was actually a huge thing. All right, that was, so y'all can't see this. I'm going to do one thing over here before I forget. I know y'all can't see this, but it's not really that important. I just extended a branch out just a little bit. Is because of what you're saying. Like, I like our group. It's fun. I just didn't like what was getting on my nerves. Specific people, but I don't want to talk badly about people. And some people I was friends with, I had to block. But stuff you should never have to put up with. And I wasn't saying this. I was trying to keep the drama to a minimum, so I was trying not to talk about it, but I had to deal with a lot. And it was bullshit. And I said, I'm never doing this again. This is not worth it. But the stuff that angered me, and like, it was stuff like we were losing games because we were being idiots. Like, we didn't know how to take a graveyard. Our team is doing it. Yeah. And you know what? You notice I'm different now. Like, I'll kick people. And I'm telling Miz, I said, Miz, I no longer care. Like, I used to stand, yeah, no fear. You're right. You're absolutely right. And a lot of that was my fault. The stuff that we went through, because I was too patient with people. And I learned a valuable lesson there. But like, the stuff that would annoy me over time, and this was like, is like people looking at the scoreboard and just judging, like immediately saying, oh, we're down, and panicking. My mindset is, you can always win, but you need to keep a cool head. And why are you going, why are you going to look at the scoreboard and stuff and shoot yourself in the foot? Never be intimidated. I don't care if you're going to lose, This is the stuff that you have to with even, it's a stupid game, but even with this, it's just going to make it, why do that? But like pushing a graveyard, they would just stop on the flag and fight on the flag. So you could have 2 or 3 members of the opposing team holding 20 of us up because we're not pushing into their actual spawn point. Our team right now is preemptively doing that without anybody saying anything. And that is awesome. That's how we used to be. That's the stuff. So when I have to hear bitching and complaining about, oh, well, they're this, our team's crying about losing or whatever, which they did to me. But then I see that stuff happening, and I've been leading for a long time. We've done thousands of games seemingly together, and they're still doing this. It's exasperating. And I found myself caring too much, and I just said, I can't, I'm not going to do that again. But this is fun, because this is how it was in the beginning. And so my thing with Miz, I told him, I said, because I try to reel him back in, because Miz is very enthusiastic, and I like that. That's a good thing. But he can be too enthusiastic, which shoots himself in the foot. My weakness was, like we were talking about before, I wouldn't kick him. I would give people 2nd, 3rd, 4th chances. Barham's an excellent example. We should have kicked his ass out immediately. That was on me, and that cost us big time. Paha. They're people, because I felt bad about kicking. I've already kicked a person, and I told Miz, I said, I know you feel bad about some of this, and he doesn't mind as much as I did before, but he still wants, Yeah, right? There you go. So that stuff is not going to happen. And Miz was saying, well, I feel bad because, Plebeian was always like, oh, we need to be open and stuff. And Miz and I, before we started this thing back, and it was essentially me, Zerks, and Miz, really. Miz was the main person who really pushed this, but he's doing it with me and Zerks. Like, we're kind of in this together. I'm just not, physically leading it right now. And Miz is the leader, which is fine, but we're all, making the decisions. But I told him, I said, look, there's this mentality that people have, and you can see it on the forums. Like there was a discussion with this. Yeah, exactly. It's just, well, it is just a kid's game. Are you saying for me to chill? Like, I'm fine. This is my point. I have a point with this tag game. So like, there's this mentality where people feel like they're entitled, right, to play with you. So like, oh, you can't kick. Oh yeah, we're super sweaty. But there's this mentality where like you can't kick people, and if you do, you're bad. It should be open. And that's a pretty entitled mentality. Fuck that. Why? It takes, Miz leads, and it takes a lot to lead over a period of time. Like, it is fun, but it does take stuff out of you over time. You have to organize it, the organization part. You have to oftentimes deal with drama. There's a lot of things with this stuff that you need to deal with, right, as a leader, that you should never have to deal with, in my opinion, but you do. And so this is kind of it. And so why is it that everybody should be entitled to play? Like, we should be able to pick and choose who we want. And if somebody doesn't fit, I'm at the point right now where I'm totally fine with kicking somebody, especially if Miz says, yeah, I don't want it. Lokimo, what's up, buddy? So that's my mentality on it. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. I'm not, but that's just how I see things at this point. We need to have fun, and I don't want to deal with the bullshit. I'm not going to. I'm not in the position. That's totally Miz. I just want to relax and rest and have fun at the end of the day. Tagging, what you have to understand, I agree with you. What I'm saying is, tagging, in stuff like this, when you're playing a game with multiple people, you would think that people can just play and say it's a game. I have been in the point of leading stuff before, and you realize that there are people who don't look at it that way, and you have to deal with them, and they're essentially giant children, and it's bullshit you have to go through. That's what you're hearing right now. It's not me. I don't hate anybody. I'm just saying, like, if you're running something like this, there's a level of bullshit that you have to deal with that is not right. And this is like this in anything. All right? I've learned that adults oftentimes act like the biggest children. And people, oftentimes they're above the age of 50 and 60 who do this. And it was eye-opening to me. So, tagging, that's where I'm coming from, man. I promise you I'm not getting worked up over this. I promise you. I am having fun where I'm at right now, watching the stuff go down, which is sweaty nerd drama that Miz has orchestrated, essentially. And he is in their heads. And it is fun to watch. Not done out of hatred. I think it's mainly done out of boredom, frankly. It's fun to watch. It is fun. Okay. Played PUBG. He would grenade me in the middle of the game. We were in a team. I kicked him out and never played with him. Yeah, you're smart, man. So what I used to do, I feel I'm regressing. I feel more like a child at 40 than at 30. Confidence makes you a child. You can see that. I too feel like in certain ways I was more mature when I was younger, and in certain ways I was more immature. That's kind of a generic thing to say, but it's true. Tagging, the problem I had, I was so... Andy, what's happening, buddy? I was so patient with people, and it shot our group in the foot. It was stupid. It's the same group right now that we're talking about. We're in. It's a little bit. It's more modified. It's smaller now, which is good. We're trying to keep it that way. But I really screwed a lot of things up. Is my point. That was my fault. You know what? I'm man enough to admit that. That was my fault. I'm having trouble because this is like, I don't know if y'all can see. It's a little bit of a reflecting back. Yeah. Such a jerk. I took the game too seriously because I was focused to win. So I started getting that way too. And that's when you pull back from it. And I think I'm at a point in my life right now where real life, there's some serious things happening at home that it's kind of dulled everything else down and made me a little bit more chill in other areas, and that's actually a good thing, because I think especially when you've been doing something a long time and you get passionate about it, and then you have to deal with things over an extended period of time, and this we're talking about in game, you can start taking it too serious, and I've definitely done that. It's kind of normal to do that. It makes sense, but when that happens, if you can reel back, right? Because because you know the truth. What games today? I love games. The downside is you don't see people. And if you saw people in person, like they might piss you off and this and that, but you'd be kinder to them probably. And so it's not good sometimes not being able to see people, and you kind of lose track of that, and you kind of act like a dick. And I can do that. So it's kind of tricky. And some friends that we just clicked, we worked together so good, it was like fighting for real. That's pretty cool. Yeah, they in-game things, like, I know where you're coming from, Annie, with that. Yeah, you're right. It's a game. And I need to work on this. I'm a huge hypocrite for saying this, but like you need to treat people like proper. But at the same time, it is fun teabagging people and stuff. And I don't see that as, I'm not doing it maliciously. I'm doing it out of fun. Like I like trolling people in a certain manner. I like there are things. I don't know. I'll start contradicting myself with this. You guys, you know what I'm saying. But Coquette, yeah, I'm glad we have our group back and stuff, and it's I'm having a good time with it. I really am. I can't play as much, obviously, as I used to be able to, but that's okay. I need to warm this up. I'm being kind of stupid. Give me a second. Let me recalibrate my brain here. This is a little bit awkward, this one. I'm putting my finger here because I think this is wet. This one might be slightly because I was messing around with. Shit, I screwed that up. I'm trying to get the drawing, trying to get the values correct, because I don't think I put the shadows in proper, but I'm going to work it so much that I'm not sure it really matters too much. Maybe it does. That's actually looking okay at a distance. I just need to make it look good from closer up. Oh, it's awesome, isn't it? Diablo music. So I know it's like the third day we've listened to it, but I like it. And plus, the new one's coming out like in May or something, or June 6th, which is not that. That's like pretty much a month and a half or something. It's not long. You'd be like a SWAT team. That's awesome. Yeah, I like Diablo 3. I just, this is Lut Golane. Yeah, not sure the spelling. Town or the harem or both. I forgot. Oh yeah. Yeah. The desert. Yeah, the desert one. Okay, June can't wait. Yeah, in June. Coquette. Okay, so I was thinking about this, like. Romero's like bag space. But the thing that is concerning me is your talent point system. I don't think you can respec it. If you're locked in, that's gonna suck. They're doing this meaningful choice bullshit again. And I don't think that's gonna play out well. Like, I don't like doing that. I like being able to switch and experiment. I don't want to spend all the time making a character and realize I messed up because I didn't know what I was doing. Or they nerfed something and now, like, you know, Land of Kudos. I thought I could change mine. I went Frost to Fire to Zappy Boy. Zappy Boy. That's Taliesin. Taliesin did that about that troll. Zappy Boy, back to Fire. I was all over the place. So you can change it. You can change your if you can change it, that's huge. Those two things, the backspace and the change. It's quite fun to try to guess from which game the songs are. Yeah, it is. That's why, like, sometimes I'll listen to music and it'll bring me back to those times within hair on my hand or something. Those times with, you know, while playing, it's fun to do. We would stun grenade the house and we would go in together. Some on the first level of the house, others in second. Dude, that's awesome. It's fun. Also fun, I couldn't decide. Are link sharing it? I think, yeah, it is. I just was hesitant. I'll click on it. It takes me out of the chat for a second. From the Land of Kudos. This is a beautiful song, man. Wasn't that Assassin's Creed or something? Wasn't it? What was that from? Land of Kudos. Huh. I've heard that before. Lots of speckled light here. That's what we're doing. So to a distance, that doesn't look as great because the values are off. And there's more. I think this is like the jungle, right? I didn't lighten the values. I think so. Well, no, they seem pretty dark though there too. If I lighten them, I might lose the light effect. Oh, whoops. Would say clear, second room clear. Nice. It's 97. It's by Blizzard, a cinematic. There is a sniper northwest upper floor. I love it, man. I'm so good with snipers, especially Car 98K. Yeah, it is Act 3. Okay, German rifle, bolt action. So I bet you can't find which song is from Mario. The movie is Tekken. Do you still play with those guys, Tekken? How long ago was that? Light out. 4 years ago. That's a shame. So you like first-person shooter games, right? Is that what you like? You know what? Okay, you see what happens. So you come in, and then we start talking about the video games. This is why I like this. It's fun. And it actually helps me to paint. Oddly enough, I'm not just saying that. It really does. It's actually helping my work. Maybe because it gets my head out of like the drudgery of what I'm doing. I'm kind of, because this is a little bit something I'm not so into right now. Mess that up. How good were you, Tagian? Tagian's like, I was the best. I don't like to say it, but I was the best. We had a lot of good men. Every story Tagian says ends with, we lost a lot of good men out there. I watched the stream while painting through. I should watch the stream while painting, though. You should. You definitely should. So, I've been pretty focused on this painting, but a lot of the times I'll be doing a pencil drawing or figure drawing or something, and do that, and I'll post the actual reference photo in our Discord so that people, if they want to, can follow along. You learn more that way, right? You see what I'm doing, you try to follow along, and maybe learn something, what to do, what not to do. No one will play with me anymore. They all act like I'm an adult now. Oh, I was pretty good. Which diamond? Tagging, would you play Overwatch? I don't think you'd play Overwatch. Shadows. Shit. Screw that up. I do make a lot of mistakes in my work. I need to be careful not to accidentally draw a penis on the side of the building with the shadows or something. That's one of the things. Or maybe I do put one in. I'm trying not to overmodel, but I need to. Needs to look good from a distance. That looks really weird. It's not unified. This is it's a balance. It's a juggling act, rather, is what it is. My mind still thinks I enjoy playing, but I really rarely enjoy even sitting in front of a game. Only realistic games like PUBG and Call of Duty Warzone. I think Overwatch is pretty realistic, you jackass. I've gone back to the basics of playing chess. Have you really, looking up? We need to change that, man. Chess isn't good for your brain. Only video games are. Right? Also played Apex Legends. How was that? I don't think I played that. Okay. That is... This is incorrect. This needs to be darker. Not that dark, but this should suffice. Just go into here. I'm actually going to unify some of the larger shadows to balance this bitch off. Soften. Okay, that's better. There. This doesn't bother me as much. All right, that's maybe better. And let me bring out a larger light shape just to balance that off. Too good at made me too good at multitasking. Chess promotes violence. Good, not bad, but not my cup of tea. I hate games like Fortnite and Overwatch. Well, that's a shame because I'd play with you, man. Even though I don't play Fortnite. That's looking okay, nice. That's looking better. Let me bring the light up some. My shoulder. Arma 3? What is that? That I don't have a PC or console anymore. What happened to it? Kid tried to get me to play Arma. Too many keybinds. Really? That's coming from a WoW player? There must be a lot of keybinds. It's better that way. Keep the distraction away. You're probably right about that, man. You're probably right. I'll tell you right now with me, I need something that brings me out of bullshit. 'Cause I am thinking about this all day. This isn't bullshit, but I'm thinking about this all day. So normally in the past, this is what my escape would have been. I don't have that anymore. So my escape, I could say watching TV or whatever. Watching TV is fine, but I like doing something active with my mind. Okay, now I think if we work the beams in it, the beams at the same time, be in good shape. Anybody plays real outdoor games, like CBQ games a lot. I don't know what CBQ is. Outdoor games. I've been playing more basketball recently, but I hadn't played in a long time. We lost our camera, didn't we? I lost my any skill that I had. I was never great at basketball either. I used to play lacrosse. I'm playing a lot of real life games right now, unfortunately. Did that camera just go out? I think it probably did. There you go. Come back. Come back to us. Move! There we go. We are good. See that move? All right. That change with the house is making a huge difference. It is making a huge difference. Then maybe I should have made it a little bit lighter. Maybe too contrasty. Shit, that might be too much. Yeah, that might be too much contrast for that area. I might have to lighten it just a little bit. That's okay. That's why we gotta know how to handle this stuff, right? This is the nature of this type of work. You make these little adjustments here and there and keep going with it. Arma 3 pre-realistic battle, like checking the distance in the wind with device to snipe an enemy. Raid houses full of terrorists, like a real battle. My dream was to be a Marine. Dude, that's awesome. tag in just something to consider is if you don't have a good computer right now, you know where I'm going with this? Do you know what I'm going to say? You should, wait, do you have a computer? Like, you don't have a computer. Why not? Did it just break or what happened? Like, what do you have access to? Just bring the light up just a little bit here. Nothing anymore. So what happened? Why don't you have a computer? Did it die or something, or just become outdated? That stuff happens. Just bring that up just a little bit. That works better. That's better. Okay, I can deal with that. It broke down years ago. Okay, got it. Well, what I was going to say is those games that you like take a lot of power and they require a solid computer. And, you know, you could consider playing a game that definitely doesn't take your time up. It's definitely not addictive. It definitely is something that is very meaningful. It definitely does not replace real-life achievements with in-game achievements, and that is World of Warcraft. You should consider that. It's too boring. Screw you. How do you know if it's boring? You haven't played it. Is Army mandatory for you, by the way? You can play on your 1989 computer. I have almost a computer per room. I was sad about that, though. That thought. Played the beta. I actually have Army was mandatory for me. It was either chemo. No, it was back then, but not now. Yeah. Gotcha. Shoot, this is not what I wanted. Change that color there. Okay, this is what I think. I can't put my finger down there because I obviously was working on that before. I'm trying to think of a game that you would like that you could play, but you don't have a computer, so that's not a possibility. It should be, though. In which countries are... Yeah, I think there's... I also think there's value in like, it's good to be patriotic, I think. That stuff, or at least be grateful for that. In which countries are Army mandatory? I went there and worked with good boys. Dog. Know about Israel. It's really... It's real discipline. It is, and that's another thing. It's very, you know, like, yeah, I didn't have it, but I think it's. I agree with you. This is coming along. Over. So you shift the values, and then you get the drawing. Go back over the drawing as such. And that's looking okay. That actually looks better now. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. That's okay. I just need to be careful over here. I just need to be careful there. This If it applied now, nothing would stop me except my parents. Yeah. Okay, I said I wanted to get the columns in, and then I got distracted, so I'm going to go back to the columns. I think I got distracted because I stepped back and looked at and saw that everything was a little bit too contrasty. There we go. King was half French, half Finnish. French are the least willing to take arms to defend their country, and Finlands are the most willing to take arms to defend the country. So you're a mix. They actually need more than manpower. It's like 30% in France, 80% in Finland. There are application boxes everywhere in my country. Sometimes I just think, fuck it, I'm going to join. Really? So what makes you want to join so much? You like the discipline? Is that what you like? Figure this out. I'm being stupid right now. Give me a sec. Because I missed this piece going across, didn't I? Or did I paint over that? This is tricky. This is a tricky point right here. There's that, and then there was a piece coming across here, which... This is meticulous, but it's worth the work put in. It really makes the paintings look much better. Huh. Alright, it's fine. I guess it depends on the country. If you're in Russia, I suggest not joining. Why? Just the army lifestyle and discipline, but I would miss my art education. I like that more. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What the hell am I drawing? That's not even there. Oh, that's because this angle is slightly different. It's just, okay, I see what I'm doing. Never mind. I'm good. As long as you don't become the next Hitler, the most infamous art student. The thing is, your conversations with Annie especially are hilarious because I don't know why they just are. I'm not going to explain it. All right. Fuck, this could be higher. I don't even care. It's looking okay. It's looking better. Mm-hmm. Yes. First impression I give them, that cold emotional. If you're Hitler, you have similarities with Hitler, you know. Annie's saying this. Go on, Annie. But deep inside those scouring eyes flourish a love of painting and history. I've been told. For resistance, like total. Automod Helfer. As long as you don't confuse a glass. Oh, come on, that's fine. How do I... It's not racist. Okay. Allow. One second. Fascism now, except I'm a bit conservative. Nothing wrong with that. That's new. What's new? Miz is saying something, Coquette, about you, which is good. He's saying something good. I might pass it on. One second. Let me see what Miz is saying. This is why we needed Coquette back. And then he just sent me the video. Oscilla, Kryn failed task successfully. We'll see that in a second. Tell her. All right. This is good. We're getting a lot of work done. We're getting a lot of work. We've gotten a lot of work. Just need to keep on moving, keep on, honestly, just keep painting. This stuff, like I said, this takes a while. What am I gonna? It takes a while. And this is the stuff, like I said, all the time. My studio, I'm just putting a camera on it because why not? Start this piece. Kilo. There we go. Oh my gosh. Still moving. This is tricky. This piece is a little tricky right there because I don't think I put that in before. All right. Good, 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 good. Coquette, did you hear what I said, by the way, about Miz? You know, what I would do, I put, it was like, that his crush rejected an army. Go easy now. Easy, easy. Go easy. Might have to hold you back there, Tagian. That's entertaining. That's kind of weirdly sexual. As long as we're laughing at the end of this, all right? I'm all for a solid drama, but don't kill each other here. We're all friends. Army is perfect for you. I don't have any time for this, Lewis. Yeah, you do. Coquette, Mrs. here. I have to save Hyrule. The Brotherhood of the Falcons needs me. That's looking better. Ms., that's funny. Coquette was in the stream. I think she must be like taking a break or something right now, but she was in there. We're talking about video games. And now I might have to potentially break a fight up. Not sure. It's hard to tell sometimes. I like good drama. I just want everybody to be happy. Okay? You forget your crush is second. The drill sergeant hoses you down with ice. Tegan, have you ever liked a chick before? Huh? I think Tegan has. He's been through the roughest parts. Of course, dude. Good. I believe you. I was just curious. All right, Ms. I'll see you, buddy. Entering the Shadow Temple today? Ms., okay, we'll talk later. I don't know what that means, by the way. Tegan, why want to have rough sex with him? Yeah, Tegan, why do you want to have rough sex with him? Inokimo, in Army, the priest was like, guys, you should all consider dumping your girlfriends. Oh, dude, that would suck. But I like it when you guys get fired up, honestly. It kind of gives me strength here. Your words say you want me. What do you have to say about that, Tagian? I am not above this conversation at all. I know I should probably be smoothing things out here. His explanations was that you're going to be away for months for something. He was in the middle of a divorce. He was in the priest was? Oh, a dude. The guy was in there secretly. Guys, what you're doing, you're throwing back and forth like this is not the place to go. Here. Are you gonna take that into you? Huh? The stream's turned into, no, you're gay. No, you're gay. That's what it's turned into. You realize this, right? This is an art stream. And somehow it's turned into this. And I am genuinely curious to see where this one goes. I probably should stop it, but I'm not going to. I'm genuinely... I want to see where this goes. You ignore this? I ignore this? What do you say? Alright, now I need to start bringing some of the little specks of light out of the shadows. Just make some slight variations here. is the best way to do it. So, and then I need to move on from this piece because it's kind of been a little bit longer than I've wanted to work on this, but it's okay. We are beyond the Godwin. Pointum noon has been the before. I don't understand that. Maybe I should. And my brother, I know maybe you need some support to come out of normal. He just went up to you, Tagin. What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna do, man? I support you. Godwin's Law, short for Godwin's Law, or Nazis analogies, is an internet ad asserting that as an online discussion grows longer, regardless of topic or scope, the probability of comparison to Nazis or Adolf Hitler approaches. Yeah, but it was, I think that's in, it's different in this context because they were like, but you know what? It might have just been proven. I don't know. I didn't even know what that was before. Tag in. He just went up to you. What are you going to do now? Look, I'm fully fine with y'all going back and forth like this as long as y'all aren't like dead serious. Whoop your ass is a synonym for beat the living out. Dude, he knows that. He knows. He's messing with you. You know that too. He's messing with you. This music is awesome. It's okay. It's okay. Oh man, just roof speckles, and then the top is where it's gonna. That's where the light's hitting. Nobody's trying to. I think he's kidding, and I think you're kidding. That's what I think. Otherwise, I would have stopped this. All right. Now go ahead and hug. Okay? Please. That looks pretty good, right? Elohim. Guys. All right. Okay. Maybe we just slow down at this point. You're back to normal? Okay, good. Elohim is back to normal. That's messed up. Either way was nice today. All right, good. All right. Are we good? I can't tell. All right, here's the thing, guys. I can't tell attitude's always over the chat. So as long as you guys aren't like serious about all this stuff, I'm cool with it. But you just want everybody to relax and have fun. All right? It's an art stream. Oh, gosh. Don't bite that. Tagging, don't bite. Don't bite. Annie, stop goading him. Open a bottle of good wine. Cook. He finally revealed himself. Don't bite. Don't bite. His true identity. Guys, just take it easy, all right? Just take it easy. Lewis is getting concerned. All right, he's joking. There we go. He's joking. He's joking. There we go. He's joking. Good. All right. There. I can take that. Nothing wrong with that. Just don't want people going crazy here. All right. All right, let me move on to the next house, which this is great, isn't it? In fact, what I'll do, I'll move the camera in some just to give it a different angle. And you can see me messing up even more from close up. So essentially that's all I did on that house until I eventually got it in the ballpark. Okay, let's actually check this out. Bring the camera off just for a second. Let's do this. Right there. That's. I think that's a good shot. Nope. Horrible shot. I need to tilt the camera for some reason. I was saying, why do I need